I never knew my husband was gay. Charles never wanted to get married. He had always made it clear that marriage wasn't for him. But being the only son in his family, his mother wouldn't let him be. She constantly pressured him to settle down and give her a grandchild. To make her happy, Charles finally agreed to her wishes. One afternoon, he met Marki at a restaurant during her lunch break. She was cheerful, polite, and easy to talk to. Their simple conversation turned into a deep connection. He told her there would be no intimacy until marriage, and Marki gladly accepted. Over time, they became friends, and soon after, Charles proposed. Marki, believing he was the man meant for her, happily accepted. Their marriage started off calmly, but soon, Marki noticed something strange. Charles never tried to be intimate with her. At first, she thought he was just shy or waiting for the right moment. But as weeks turned into months, nothing changed. Whenever she brought up the topic, Charles would brush it off, saying they weren't ready for children yet and needed more time. Marki grew restless and confused. She wondered if something was wrong, maybe a medical condition he was too embarrassed to talk about. But every time she asked, Charles got angry. "When I'm ready, I'll decide," he would say coldly. His tone always ended the discussion. One night, Marki decided to take matters into her own hands. She lured Charles into bed, determined to feel loved by her husband. That night, for the first time, they were intimate, and a few weeks later, she found out she was pregnant. Marki was overjoyed, but when she told Charles, his reaction crushed her. Instead of happiness, he was furious. He asked her to abort the baby, saying it wasn't the right time. Marki refused. She was determined to keep her child. From that moment, Charles changed completely. He became distant, cold, and often came home late. Marki felt the love and warmth she once hoped for slipping away. Then one evening, as Charles took a shower, a message popped up on his phone. Out of curiosity, Marki picked it up. What she saw made her heart stop. A message from a close male friend thanking Charles for the amazing night they shared. Her hands trembled. Her heartbeat quickened. In that instant, everything made sense. The truth hit her hard. Her husband, the man she fought to understand, was gay. Marki's world collapsed the day she discovered Charles was gay. Pregnant and devastated, she couldn't remain in their home any longer. She packed her belongings and moved in with a friend across the city, seeking refuge from the betrayal that had upended her life. Throughout her pregnancy, Charles never called. He didn't ask about her well-being or the child growing inside her. Marki had already closed that chapter of her heart. His silence only confirmed what she already knew: their relationship was beyond repair. Months later, Marki gave birth to twins. The news reached Chalse's mother, who had long dreamed of grandchildren. Overjoyed, she immediately called her son to congratulate him. Charles's response stunned her. Marki had left months ago, and they hadn't spoken since. He recounted the events that led to their separation, explaining everything that had transpired. His mother had known about Charles' sexuality all along. Rather than addressing her son's choices, she turned her fury toward Marki. She demanded the twins be handed over to the family, making threats and causing turmoil. But Marki's family stood firm, forming an unbreakable wall of protection around her and the children. The battle was fierce, but Marki prevailed. She and her twins found peace, building a life filled with love and stability. Though she bore the title of single mother, happiness had finally found her, a happiness that had eluded her throughout her marriage. Being alone with her children brought more joy than her years with Charles ever had. Years passed quietly. Then news arrived that Charles had been hospitalized with a deadly disease. Lying in that sterile room, tubes and monitors surrounding him, Charles's mind wandered through the ruins of his past. Regret consumed him for the lies, for the pain he'd caused, for the family he'd destroyed through deception. Marki, meanwhile, watched her twins grow strong and healthy, their laughter filling the home she'd built from the ashes of her former life. She had survived the storm and found her own version of happiness, proving that sometimes the end of one story is simply the beginning of another.